Tell everybody the good news of Corey LaJoie, and I appreciate that.
She usually gets you there by preaching from across the top.
All right, y'all, welcome to another special edition episode of The Shoe Show. We are not talking about whatever the hell shoes Chase Elliott wears, because he's going to be wearing slippers this weekend. We are going to be talking about the one and only Corey LaJoie, the super shoe of NASCAR. And we're just talking about the news today. Mike, glad to have you back, man. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. Some things never change. Still working fingers to the bone every day. But man, just super excited to number one, be back on the show. It's fantastic to be back and hanging out with all you cool cats. But just super excited about the news that was just released to the public a few hours ago, man.
Yes, sir. Man, I some friends messaged me and I was like, that's not true. I mean, I couldn't get over it. I mean, not that Corey's getting the ride forever, but man, what a killer opportunity for Corey to kind of spread his wings a little bit and the bigger picture of kind of putting himself out there. So man, I'm excited.
For sure.
So the news stuff made me think we should get together, talk about this is kind of like a big topic. So and a lot of people are chatting pros and cons, and you got your keyboard warriors out there, but I just thought it was a good opportunity to get with you and chat. So I wanted to talk about the best replacement drivers, at least documented that I can find, and something to talk about. So back in 1979, David Pearson subbed for Dale Earnhardt at the Southern 500. Thought that was pretty damn cool. Jamie McMurray for Sterling Marlin. I believe that's what kicked off his career out in Charlotte. What else we got here? Darrell Waltrip for Steve Parks in the late 1990s. It's quite interesting. I don't know if his career was ended by then or not. DW.
I'm not sure. It seems like well, it would have been before 01, obviously, right? Because he was in the booth for the Daytona 500 when we lost Dale Sr. So it seems like maybe 2000 was his farewell tour, I would think. I mean, not that it's super relevant, but just while we're talking about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. And just as a side note, old Steve Park, man, I really feel like that was a talent that was not fully, I guess, able to show itself for what it was. He had a really nasty wreck in practice at Atlanta, I believe in like 98 or 99, and blew a tire, hit the wall coming off turn 4, and then hit the inside pit wall a couple of times too, and really rung that guy's bell. So I hated to see his career cut short. I feel like he definitely could have had some talent for sure.
Yeah, man. The a couple other that I found was quite interesting. In 1998, Matt Kenseth subbed for Bill Elliott. I guess it was a day of a funeral, so Kenseth jumped in, and that was before Kenseth started his successful career in Cup. So quite interesting. Brad Keselowski in 2007 jumped into the ride. Who was it? Ted Musgrave, because Ted got suspended for a race, but this run got Dale Jr.'s attention, and so much so that he put Keselowski in his ride in Xfinity, and then off Keselowski went, became a champion and all that. And that's my whole goal of bringing up all these substitute drivers and these little opportunities here and there, is that not that I think Corey is definitely not Chase Elliott, However, it's a way for him to hopefully, get his name out there, catapult his career, maybe make that good connection. We all love Spire Motorsports. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them, and I'm super excited to be cheering for. They're the small dog in the fight, and it's exciting. But at the same point, we want to see our guys succeed, and it might take Spire quite a long time before they finally have a car that's able to be top 10 every weekend. And who knows where it's all going. I mean, neither one of us are experts on this topic. We're just experts of sitting on the couch and drinking beer. But it's exciting for us to see Corey get this opportunity. I thought it was even just cool back when Chase got injured, and before Josh Berry was announced as a driver, there are so many people backing, saying put Corey in it. So I thought that was a really cool moment for Corey. I hope he took it home as that people are starting to recognize how good he is and the small equipment.
Yeah, I was blown away when you texted me earlier this afternoon. I just got off work actually, and so your text came in before the screen grab or whatever from NASCAR.com, and you're talking about Corey to the 9 car this weekend. I was like, there ain't no way, bro. Josh Berry's going to fill that car. He's already been in the 9. He's already been in the 48. And so I really thought you were just kind of BSing me. And then the picture loaded a couple seconds later, and man, geeking out would probably be the understatement of the century, right? I mean, because you and I, we've discussed several times, in the last couple of years, how much we thought, Corey would have a chance to prove himself if he was in equipment that was just a little bit better, right? Maybe with a little more research and development, or, better chassis or motors or setup notes or what have you. And so me personally, to see him get this opportunity this weekend, I mean, it means the world, to be honest. So I'll be transparent. I don't think Corey LaJoie is going to go out and win this weekend. Would I like to see him win? Absolutely. But I guess what I want to see most this weekend as a fan of Corey LaJoie is I just want to see him go out and be consistent all day long. Like, I would love to see him run top 10, top 15, and be there all day. And if he can sneak in and get him a top 5 at the end of the race, hey, that's great too. But I want more people to be able to see the driving talent and the ability that people like you and I already see and believe in Corey LaJoie for, right? Yeah. Obviously a car with more funding and, never mind the employee difference, right? I mean, there's probably 200 people, I'm sure, that work on Chase Elliott's car every weekend. Spire's got like 20 or 30 to run 2 cars. So for him to be able to get this opportunity and maybe be able to show just what he is capable behind the wheel, I hope that ultimately what it does is I hope it shines a really good light on our driver. And I hope somehow that it all translates back for Spire Motorsports. Maybe it brings on a sponsor that can, take on a little more money, or, maybe it gets us this or that, what have you. I just know there's going to be a lot of press for this guy this week, a lot of cameras and microphones in his face. And I just got to say that I love seeing the clip on Stacking Pennies from earlier today. This guy is so humble, which he always is, right? But even in this moment, this could be like a catapult move for him in some form or fashion. And this guy is still the same chilled out Corey LaJoie. And it's awesome for somebody like you and I would say, to have been cheering for this guy when he was 30th place every week. And now we kind of get to see what could maybe happen for this guy in some top-notch equipment. So I know that was a little long-winded, but that was that's just what I want to see for the guy. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do big things in the sport. Like at some point, I want to see you and I pissed off because he finished 9th. You know what I mean? Man, we could have done so much better. And I really hope that those days are coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's exciting, man. And a lot of people, they place judgment on Corey because of, well, he's driving a, $1 million car. He should be winning. They don't understand the true dynamics of a struggling race team and a new race car driver that's just getting introduced to a brand new race car. After only starting a couple years back with the Gen 6. So a lot of fans, man, they just don't get it, and they automatically just think, well, if he's not winning, then he sucks. But there's so much more to it than that. There's so much. It's so much easier to. It's harder to explain than just watching football, and it's very easy to explain why a football player is not doing well. And it's and Corey's really opened that door up. He's without his stacking pennies, without his Sunday money, and just his honesty that he's always had. I probably would still think the same. I mean, you and I both were retired Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon fans, and I thought that Jimmy was just the best ever or Jeff, these guys are the best ever because, man, they're killing it. But, once you realize how much more, there's so much more details to this sport. It's not about just they don't all have the same car. They don't all have the same equipment. And it's really more about what kind of engine do you have? Hearing about how Corey had to, I guess they lease engines from Hendrick. I heard that last year on Stacking Pennies, and that blew me away. And I learned so much because of Corey, and because he just, he opens that curtain up a little bit more for us, and it really makes me more of a fan of the sport, because it just makes things more interesting, and makes me want to see the little guy succeed more and more. And I wanted to bring up that a lot of people look at Corey and said, well, he has 0 wins, and I don't know how long he's been racing now. 5 years? Is it three in Go Fast and 3 in Spire, something like that? Yeah. But it's he is a successful race car driver, and he raced 7 years in the K&N Pro East series of NASCAR. He was always on a part-time schedule. I don't know a ton about his K&N races, and however, he only seemed to race like half of the races in some years. Some races he'd only race like 1 race, but he raced 37 races, and out of those 37, he won 6 of them. He got 18 top 5s, 22 top 10. He's got a pole. Laps led is 485, and his average finish was 10.6. And it's wild because he was going exactly against the people that he's going against now. He has Bubba Wallace there. He had Chase Elliott. He had Kyle Larson and a few others that are big name drivers. And, granted, that's then and this is now. Things do change for sure. But, not to discredit Kyle Larson or, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, they're all great drivers as well. But he does have the ability. And I'm sure he struggles with, the motivation at times. That's why he started the Stacking Pennies. That's why he, had a sports psychologist. But man, I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for his opportunity, and I really hope that it opens up doors, whether or not it's doors to further enrich Spire Motorsports and get them better and better equipment and better personnel, or whether it's him going to, who knows, a 10 car next year. Who knows what it is. One last thing I looked up, actually, credits to the wife, because I needed her to look it up for me as a spur of the moment, was the average finishes for Josh Berry filling in for Hendrick this year. He's had quite a number, 11 opportunities this year to run either the 9 or the 48 car. His first race was in March at Vegas. He was running the 9 car, and he started 32nd and he finished 29th. I do remember watching that, and I remember, seeing him struggle. And Josh Berry is a really good race car driver, and I'm excited to see what he does. But I knew off the bat, you can't just jump into a car and expect to go win a race. It's a brand new car for him, brand new team for him, everything is brand new. I mean, to include the little, there's so many more things to winning a race than just, driving fast and getting to the front. You have to be well on pit road. You have to know what the cues are. You have to trust your spotter, all that stuff. It's honestly what I expect with Corey this weekend. Hopefully he has a better finish in 29th, but it's, realistically, we're just hoping that he doesn't wreck Rick Hendrick's car and that he has a decent finish and that people notice him and that he gets his name out there a little bit more. The rest of the finishes for Barry, he finished 10th at Phoenix, 18th in Atlanta, 2nd at Richmond, 8th at Bristol Dirt. Well, it actually lists him twice for Bristol Dirt. So it says 8th and 27th. I don't know. Maybe 8th was the qualifying race. Dover is 10th. Kansas is 25th. Darlington is 30th. And he finished North Wilkesboro actually being in the actual main event at in 15th, and he won the Open. So, or was it the Open? But he won his qualifying race to get in there.
Him and Suarez, right?
Yeah. But either way, man, I'm just super pumped, man. And I hope that Corey LaJoie fans are too. And I hope, at the end of the day, we all have to have a little bit of a level head because, Corey's, his opportunities to win are basically the super speedways. However, he does have opportunities to shine here and there. And as Spire gets better, as Spire makes more money, and as they learn more and develop their notebook, I mean, who knows what it'll look like next year or the year after. So
for sure. I think it's all about the bigger picture. Like you said, it's all about keeping things in perspective. I said, I don't think there's a way that Corey LaJoie loses in this opportunity. Like whether he goes out and wins, finishes 15th, or he finishes 31st. I think it's just going to be good for him to see what it's like to be in top-notch equipment. And I hate to overuse that term, but I mean, it is certainly no secret that Hendrick is a powerhouse, whereas Spire Motorsports are still really grinding it out and still cutting their teeth in the sport, right? But I think nothing could happen, as I alluded to earlier, is for him to go out, run strong all day, be consistent, bring the car home in one piece. A top 10 would be awesome, and I hope all of that translates back to Spire so that he can start running better there on tracks outside of just, Atlanta and Talladega and Daytona and some of these others. I don't know, man. I'm pumped. I can't help but smile about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think I was a Chase Elliott fan, sadly enough, when I met Corey LaJoie.
you gonna dust some things off or what?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to break that old Napa crew shirt out of the closet on Sunday. Now, if for some reason he does bad, I'll still have this crew shirt on standby. I'll kind of dry some tears with it, and then pour a nice tall glass of Canadian Mist and drown it all the way.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, man, I'm pumped. I think it's going to be good stuff. Overall, it's going to be bittersweet, right? Because I don't particularly care for Chase Elliott, like at all. And so
Yeah.
I don't really want to pull for the 9 car, right? But because our boy Super Shoe is going to be wheeling that damn thing around the track on Sunday, I'm going to be proud to be a 9 fan just for about 3.5 hours. As soon as the checkered flag drops, it's pull all the 7 stuff back out and get back into the swing of things.
What a
but
weird.
maybe Chase Elliott comes back the weekend after and still has some unresolved issues. Maybe he has dementia and forget what he could be for doing certain things. And obviously not for anybody to get hurt, but maybe hook somebody again. And then NASCAR says, hey, you didn't learn your lesson. Now you got to sit out 5 races. And then they call up our guy again. You see where I'm going with this.
Yeah. What a weird weekend it's going to be, man. I was just thinking about it. Like, we do on Team Super Shoe, we do the graphic where, I always try to put because every weekend is a different paint scheme. So I want to wait and see what it is. now I'm just like, I'm going to like throw I don't know, I'm sure it's Napa number 9. I'm like, I'm going to have to put a number 9 graphic up. I'm like, like it's it's tough, man. And it's going to be weird. I'm going to listen to race chat and I'm kind of torn because, man, I love Ryan Sparks. I love TJ Bell, and heard Roy this weekend on the radio. And I'm going to feel kind of like I'm cheating, like that's like, I shouldn't be doing it. It's going to be so weird this weekend. But either way, it's going to be exciting. And I thought, to end this show, maybe fans that maybe have never met you, Mike, you were somebody that helped me kickstart this show, the shoe show. And you are a good friend, and you should tell the fans why you're a Corey LaJoie fan, because I remember seeing a picture of you with him, and you were wearing a Napa shirt.
I was, and that's that shirt that's been in the closet ever since that day. The one that I alluded to, I'm going to break out of the closet this weekend. So real quickly, I don't know, was it probably 2020, I guess. He was still in the 32 car for Go Fast Racing, had the Donald Trump sponsorship, right? So I took my son, who was 3 years old at the time and already enthralled with NASCAR. I took him to Talladega. Corey had a show car set up outside the track behind turn 4, and walked up to the guy and told him, hey, it's cool to meet you and all. And, this is my son's closest experience, like being up close with the actual car. Right. And I was like, this is really cool for him. And Corey just kind of dropped what he was doing, for 15 or 20 minutes and just talked to us, man. And he kept trying to get my son to say his name, which, he's like, say Corey. And Jace just kept calling him Chase Elliott. And Corey got a good laugh out of that. But either way, that's kind of where my story started with that guy, man. He just made such a big impression on me and obviously my son. And it meant a lot that, he dropped the window net down and let Jace kind of have a peek inside. And, Jace was trying to hug all over the right front headlight and like the fender and whatnot. And I kept telling him to get away from the car. And Corey's like, man, he can't hurt that thing. He's like, when's the next time that he might be this close to one again? He's like, just let him live it up and have his moment. And yeah, it's just something I've never forgot, man. And at that point, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what kind of equipment that he was in. It didn't matter if he was going to run 37th and 8 laps down. That was my driver from that point on, because I've been lucky enough to meet several other NASCAR drivers, right? And none of them have ever taken that kind of time. None of them have ever been that thrilled to, just whatever, man. It's kind of a life-changing moment, right? And so that's where my journey started as a 7 fan. And it has taken me to some really special places and given me some really, really awesome opportunities. And yeah, man, I just couldn't be more thankful to be a Corey LaJoie fan. And more importantly, this team right here, we're not going to forget about these boys this weekend, right? Just because he's in the 9 car, we're still pumped up about what Spire is trying to accomplish over there behind turn 2 in Charlotte. And so shout out to those guys for everything that they do to prepare those cars every week. They don't get the spotlight enough, right? Like you and I, we listen to the scanner and, listen to TJ Bell up on the spotter stand, and we hear Ryan Sparks and Corey and all that. And we kind of know what they're going through to kind of get the results that they get, but not everybody else does, right? Like the media doesn't shine a whole lot of attention on crew chiefs and spotters and engineers like Roy. And so, yeah, just want to, if any of them end up tuning in tonight, whether it's Scott Brewer, I know he follows this page, and Roy and several others, shout out to you guys, man. We haven't forgot about you, but we are going to go be 9 Hendrick fans this weekend, just one time.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people, including myself, including you. We all have these stories of how, these stories of meeting Corey and his interactions with our kids, or with, just setting time away from his day to legit just hang out. And that's why we follow him. I mean, it's hard to it's a little hard to be a fan of Corey or any team that's not, a grade A team week in and week out, because, our weekend, we're hoping for 20th or better. Most people are hoping for a win. You become a fan of Hendrick or Joe Gibbs or whoever it is, and you're upset if you don't win, and that's where they are at. And it's really exciting to be a part of Team Super Shoe, in that we're cheering on a team that is coming from the ground up. They are a true underdogs. They have the least amount of employees out of any race team in Cup, and on top of that, they make us all feel important. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the team reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, we want you to make some more content. We want you to," and it took me a while to figure stuff out, but it is like, I feel important, and all I am is just a fan from Florida. They don't know me from you or anybody else. And they come on our page. They, like you were saying, they'll come on and they'll comment every now and then. And it's really cool to be involved a little bit and, just feel like one of the guys or part of the team. So, yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And I'm super excited for his weekend, but ultimately, and I love Spire, man. So I wanted to give a quick shout out before we end this. Karen Borg, thank you for watching. Anthony Nelson, never heard of you. Tamara, if Sky's watching, hi. Michael McMahon, he's a good friend, and we've chatted quite a bit about his faith. And Mike, I'm glad you're watching. Let's see who else. Your dad,
Jerry Bostic.
Yeah, your dad. He's watching.
Hey, what's up, pops?
Nora, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry. I will butcher it, but thank you for watching. Bobby Cansdale, he is coming out of the woodwork. I'm sure he's pretty pissed off, but he says he's definitely happy to see him get a chance to shine. And that has to be, that's good words from a good man, considering that his man is booted out of the race this weekend. So, that's a tough thing to say. Mark Schisler.
Bobby, I appreciate you taking the time to tune into this, because usually I feel like you're probably on the racingwarehouse.com and shopping out new sheet metal for various different drivers. So I'm glad that you could take time out of your collecting hobby and just watch us two crazy cats talk a little NASCAR. So and by the way, still got that front bumper that you sold to me. It's a pretty awesome piece.
He's probably messaging us from the garages out at Gateway. I mean,
that guy's got a year. It seems like I got to go find out whatever job he's doing and quit building pools, because that doesn't buy me VIP memberships to races. So I do have my boss sitting here with me right behind me though at the pool company, and maybe when this podcast is over, I'll talk to him about a raise, and maybe I can get to a few more races this year, get back in the garage or something. How's that sound, Rob? Yeah.
But Mark Schisler, an old friend, man, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Ken Johnston, Ira Gibson, Mike Richard Jr. Thank you guys so much. And Anthony, once again, of course, we know who you are. You are you're the Abe Lincoln of Team Super Shoe, and appreciate your friendship, man. Otherwise, man, do you have anything else before we log off?
No, man, not a whole lot, other than I just want to say that I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope that you all kept in mind what the true meaning of what this weekend was. Ultimately, it wasn't about the Coca-Cola 600, the Indy 500, or barbecues and drinking. It was for our service members that, paid the highest price, right? So I hope you all had a great time with your family. Appreciate you guys tuning in this evening to this little live show. And Josh, I hope we can do this again sometime soon. Maybe we can get together at a race and do something. How's that sound?
We'll see, man. Let's we'll play it by ear. We'll see if there's a particular race by a particular person's state that we can go to together.
Maybe it's even a track that Corey LaJoie does good at.
Pretty sure he's going to win there. I don't know.
Hoping so, bro.
But
Sir.
all right, man. Well, y'all, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending a little bit of your Tuesday night listening to us talk about a bunch of nothing. Otherwise, y'all, God bless, stay safe, and I guess go Canadian Mist and go 9 car, I guess, for 1 week. See you guys.
Going to vomit. Get me out of here.